to part 2 of the spring mini clean and decorate vlog. I explained in the last vlog that I'm going to do some shorter videos in order to actually have time to edit and get them up on my channel. I really missed vlogging. If you have missed part 1 of this video, I will link it in the description. Super simple. I've got a variety of neutral and colorful, just trying to have a little bit of everything that I enjoy. I'm out of breath from running through the house really fast. We just come in from outside. We had like cold weather blow in again at night, so we went out there and sat for just a little bit. But this is part 2 of the spring clean and decorate. I don't know if I'll have any more after this point. Maybe. I do need to refresh our porch area, just pot some plants and stuff. But I think after this vlog goes up, I'm going to get back into doing some day in the life and stuff. Anyways, I always get stopped as soon as I start a vlog out. But be sure you have your notification on where you don't miss any of those, because my uploads are going to be a little all over the place. But I'm finally ready to start back up vlogging. I've really missed it since I am keeping it short and sweet. But emails in the description for reviews and collaborations. I'm just going to throw some music over this one again while we have a quick little vlog. So I always like to mention in these decorating vlogs that I do not go out and buy new items for each season, and definitely not like people that change out their Christmas decor themes and stuff every year. I feel like that is just such a waste of money. You can look back in my previous vlogs all the way from when I first started my channel, and you can find pretty much every decor piece, especially like a neutral item, that I have had for years now. I just try to add a little bit to it. This year I did go to Dollar Tree earlier in the year. I think it was around January or so, and I grabbed a few of the spring things. I got these styrofoam rabbits and this kind of blue hydrangea canvas looking picture, and then I also did get some of these artificial flowers at Walmart. So what I like to do is just add 1 or 2 things each year, and if I feel like it, I also don't always add in. Sometimes I feel like I've got enough, or just like I like spring, I like the change up of it, but I'm more of a fall and Christmas girl, so I don't want a ton. I just like enough that it gives us a change of scenery and makes our home look welcoming. So pretty much everything that you're seeing me decorate with, I have shopped around my house and moved around over and over, or pack up from year to year and use again. I also like to take a lot of things and paint over them, or just do DIY projects to keep from buying something else. So I'm content with the way things turn out each year. It might not be the newest thing, it might not be a ton, it might not be changing out a theme, but it's what works for me. It has saved me a lot of money, and I enjoy doing what I do. We're in a smaller mobile home we purchased in September of 2017. Since then, I have gradually bought up my decor and home items to be what it is now. So don't feel bad if it takes you a long time to build it up. I actually think that is the smarter thing to do, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. Also, you can see just here, like, I swapped out the cross over and over trying to figure out which one I wanted. I was just looking around the house for different things. But also, one of the tips that I have is for like wreaths and garlands. They seem to be the most ridiculous expensive thing when it comes to decorating. So what I like to do is purchase a pretty neutral base piece. Like I have, I think they call this like lamb's ear, eucalyptus, whatever. I get a basic garland or wreath, and then I add little picks into it, or I cut up pieces from something else. I added in a little bit of this mossy looking vine piece, whatever, into it. And I feel like that gives you a good change up without having to go buy something new. I do this for every season. And also I use it to fill gaps, just like on the end of the shelf. I felt like I wanted a little bit of greenery, so I stuck that little piece in there. Kind of wish I had another piece for the other end, but it's okay. So that is my tip, I guess, for if you are homemaking on a budget and wanting to rotate seasonally. Use what you have, add a little bit to it each year. So Willow is taking a nap. This is another day, as per usual. I take several days to get all my stuff done. But I didn't show these that I got at Hobby Lobby. I could not find where these actually were in the store. There was only one box laying up on a shelf, and they were 40% off, so I think I paid like $6 for them. But I have not seen pastel spring colored lights, so I got those. I think what I'm going to do is put it over there on my TV stand area, like wrapped into that garland, because I've really missed having the lights there. It just kind of ties it together. And then I got this because it was only $4, and the tree over there, I still have to take, I took the Valentine's decorations off, and I left the white and pink ornaments, bulbs, whatever, because I can mix that in with the spring ones. And then I have some spring ornaments, which I'll show here in a second, but I also have some little wooden vintage bunny ornaments, and I can't find where to put those. And then I had used her hair bow, Willow's hair bow, for the Valentine's bow, but I found this one, and for $4 that was really affordable, so I got both of those to put on there, and I might get to that right now or later on the night. I don't really know. I've got a lot I'm trying to get done. And then I've had these, just forgot to put them, or no, I misplaced them, and then I found them, so whenever I decorated the other day, I didn't have them to put on the tree right then. But now that I've found them, let's see if I can make them come out without making too much of a mess here. They're so cute. I wanted something really unique other than just plain ornaments, and this obviously is very spring-like. But it's little tulips. They also had, I think it was little daisies, but I really liked these, so I'm going to put those on the tree. And I need to find the bunnies where I can do it all at once. I don't know if I showed this, but earlier this year I was in Goodwill, and we don't have a lot of good thrift stores around here, so that's why I rely on Goodwill for some things. Otherwise, I really wouldn't care to go there, but they had this little Easter village, and it wasn't too like Easter bunny, Easter egg like. I mean, it's got bunnies on it, but it's just like little spring scenery, I guess. But I thought they were so stinking cute. When I got them, I didn't want them to break, and I was so close to putting spring stuff out that I just put it in this cabinet. And then I did get that little bunny right there. And I also got this one right here. This is, I've explained this before, this is like a memory cabinet. It has different things. My wedding rings there need to be repaired. That's why I got them in there. But this little section right here, there's such a glare. This is what, from Willow's pregnancy. That's when she was in the NICU. Her second Christmas. That little picture, we made a little photo and announced on Facebook when we found out we were pregnant. And the little things are just little knickknacks. And then that's how I told Michael, is the little ring box from my, I think, wedding ring. And I put it inside there and then gave him the box. So that's her little section. And then our first pregnancy, we found out at Thanksgiving time. And this was how I told Michael. And then that was some photos from that. And then this is a little Valentine's thing that he gave me. Man, I don't know how long, or maybe it was our anniversary a few years ago, but anyways, that's what that is. But that's the little spring village. So I thought I would include this since this is like a living room spring decorate. I didn't really do clean this time because that takes a good while to edit, and I did not realize that I actually have about 4 probably vlogs in my phone right now, maybe a little more than that, of day in the life and grocery haul or like grocery shopping videos that I still have to get up. So but these lamps that I put in the living room is another example about moving stuff around your house and not having to spend extra and just giving it a little, I don't know, refresh, glow up, whatever you want to call it. These are the black gooseneck lamps that have been in my bedroom for the past few years. Michael had one on his side of the bed and I had one on my side, and I really do love the lamps. There for a while I wanted them everywhere, but I tried not to overdo it, so I just got the 2. However, this past year I have been going back and forth between things that were given to me and also keeping my eye out at estate sales and yard sales to catch good deals on more truly vintage home decor, and specifically in our room I want it to be more like authentic vintage pieces versus things that look old, but I refuse to pay top dollar for them. So I actually have gotten very good deal. I've got, I think now, 3 of the oil lantern type lamps. So Michael has one on his nightstand, and then I have another one that I recently got from someone, and I literally paid like 20 bucks for one. It is truly vintage. It's so pretty, and if I'm putting those on the nightstands, we don't need these on the wall. So we have always complained about needing more light in our living room area. So I happened to think one day this was perfect because I can put one on each end of the couch. So I went ahead and put these up. Sorry that the footage is a little blurry and dim. It's to be expected because for whatever reason I always decide to do my project type stuff at night, which makes sense because of course that's my so-called alone time, but it makes it so much harder. So rather than getting it done in the day and being able to actually use the screw gun and get it done in like 2 minutes, I start marking stuff and using just a screwdriver, and I'll be here like 20 minutes hanging 2 things on the wall because I refuse to wait. So that's what happened this night. That's why it went from daytime to nighttime. I made my marks up in the day and then wiped down and hung them up and put the little screw plates on the wall. So I thought I would show this in here. I have gradually added things to our living room. I know a lot of people always say, oh, it's too cluttered for me, whatever, and that's fine. I get that, but to me, it is homey and comforting, and even though it's not always clean and organized perfectly, it makes me happy at the end of the day. So this has definitely been an extra chatty vlog this time since it has been so long since I have had regular uploads. I just wanted to make sure that I caught myself up and also added any little input that I wanted to on this video because it was done like a segment at a time. And this is one of the things that I did buy this year. I mentioned earlier was this little string of lights. It's supposedly like spring pastel colors. I've actually never seen any of these. I did get them at Hobby Lobby, but I think they were the last box because I could not even find the place on the shelf where they actually belonged. But I just wove these between the garland that was already around the TV, and it gave it that lit up look at night that I really like. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this because I think part 1 of the spring clean and decorate I just done the coffee bar. I don't think I shared anything in the living room, but this silver tinsel tree that I have in here was actually in our bedroom this past Christmas, and I had saved. I have my Walmart Plus membership, and I get money back on there. That's also a very good money saving trick if you don't know about that. It pays for itself. But I started saving my Walmart rewards dollars from about midsummer up till holiday time, and I saved it for the purpose of getting a tree for our room because we have never actually had one that wasn't just a make do kind of thing, and that was just always something that I really wanted. So in keeping with the kind of vintage theme, I decided to get the silver one because it reminded me of like the aluminum tinsel trees from years ago. So I used my reward dollars for this. So even though I technically paid for it, I didn't, because it covered it, and it also covered some of the ornaments that were on there, the pink ones, the white ones. But I decided to keep the tree to have a Valentine's tree this year. I did not share a decorating video, but I did share a YouTube short with it, and I brought it into the living room around that time, and Willow really liked it. It was really cute. So I decided that I guess this would be the new thing for now anyways. I'm sure at some point she'll end up asking me as she gets older to put it in her room, which is totally fine, but I decided to carry over to spring and put spring decorations on it. So the ornaments that are on here, the white ones, the pink ones, and the tree itself, I used my Walmart dollars to get those this past holiday time. The only thing that I had to buy was the bow I bought on top. I bought it at Hobby Lobby for $4, and then I got the little tulip ornaments on Amazon, and I made sure to catch those on a sale as well. So I always like to share with all the deals that I got to show how I save money, and also I'm just always really proud when I get something for a good price after looking for so long. But that's going to wrap it up for this vlog. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you stuck around through all this talk, this was definitely a very talkative vlog. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind liking this video, it definitely helps my channel. My email is always in the description if you would like to collaborate with me, and be sure you come back for the next day in the life vlog.